Hi there. So I think with that growing slow clap that we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone to the Aca-meme-ia panel. It's nice to see all of you here. This is a surprising turnout for talking about boring school subjects, so that's very exciting. So my name is Davison. I'm going to be the moderator for today's panel. I happen to be also myself an academic who studies memes. I am getting a PhD at NYU right now. But that's sort of incidental. I am actually here just to organize our panelists here to my left, who I will now introduce thusly. So first to my left is Jordan Leffler, who is, let me see if I can say this right. Oh wow, I can't even read my notes here. Oh, so she received her master's in linguistics from LSU, completing a thesis that performed a linguistic analysis of lol speak. To her left is Kate Miltner. She is currently the lead planner at JAM in London, and she received her Master's of Science from the London School of Economics. And she did an investigation and audience study of the appeal of lolcats. And then lastly, to her left is Whitney Phillips. She's a PhD candidate defending in June, so let's wish her luck, at the University of Oregon. And the hopeful intended dissertation title would be Dicks Everywhere, though she is worried that that might not get approved. So that's the quick and dirty, but we want to let these panelists have a second to talk about their own work in a little greater detail, so we're going to do that. Jordan, do you mind explaining a little bit more what's meant by linguistics of lolcats?
Sure. First, I'm going to explain linguistics, because it seems that people keep asking me what it is exactly. So first, linguistics is the scientific study of language. So that means I analyze language in a scientific way. No, I do not know all languages, though I would like to. That would be a polyglot. Some linguists are polyglots, some of them are not. So what I did is I looked at the cat macros and I analyzed the text on them. I looked at spelling, syntax. I looked at a lot of things on them, at a lot of lolcats and a lot of information about them. And I have, I don't know if it's up here.
Oh, do you want to?
Yeah, or are we doing?
Is that going to help?
Yeah. So my thesis advisor pretty much pimped out my thesis to the entire school and was always saying, hey, you should come present in this place. You should do a PowerPoint presentation in this place. So this is one slide of a PowerPoint presentation that I did to help people realize what exactly it is that I'm doing. And so basically, by around this slide is when I would find out like the audience reaction. So I would watch the audience, and if they did the, oh, okay, I would say, okay, you get it, you understand, you know what I'm doing. But if they did the, then I knew, okay, you're obviously not the audience that I'm trying to reach. And most of the reactions were pretty much just those two reactions, and they happened at the same time, so I could hear which one was louder in the room. I also have another picture for you, which is this one right here. So some of you know about the lolcat magnetic poetry. While I was working on my thesis, my professors were really excited about it, and I brought it, and they played with it, and they're like, we want you to do a lolcat haiku. You need to do this. This needs to be in your thesis. And so that kind of tells you there a little bit about how my professors received that, and that kind of goes into my experience in this area. Is some of it was confusion, some of it was very positive reception, and that's about me, I think.
Nice, very nice, very nice. Kate?
Okay, so my interest in lolcats goes way back in the day. 2008 is my Halloween costume. So I went to graduate school because I was interested in finding out the why of the internet as opposed to the what. And in the time that I was there, I realized that there had been next to no audience research, actually no audience research done on memes, why people interact with them, why they like them, what it is about memes that people find appealing. So basically starting from scratch in academia, I decided to pick lolcats because they were the kind of the meme with the longest longevity in the biggest corpus, and did an audience study as to why people are interested in lolcats. So that's kind of where I was with that. And then I was interviewed by someone and in the Independent, and that ended up kind of making its way around the world, the fact that I had been studying memes in an academic context.
Yeah, do you want to blow that out a little bit? What was that period of your life like?
It was incredibly bizarre. So there seemed to be a bit of an extreme reaction. Either people were really excited about it and thought it was interesting, or people basically heralded the fact that I was getting this degree as the beginning of the end, and you know, kind of the worst thing ever. So I got a lot of interviews, people from Brazil, people, I guess, the Sunday Times asked to interview me. I was crowned Queen of the Internet by Game of the Show, which was very exciting. But
do you still have that crown? Is that, do you have jewels? Or
yeah, no jewels. They didn't actually get in touch. And the interesting thing about a lot of the coverage is that no one actually got it right. Like, they were saying she is getting her master's in internet memology from the London School of London School of Economics, and
that's exactly accurate, is what you're saying.
yeah, absolutely. Yes, there is a department of memology in London, and everyone should go there. No, but yeah, so it was very interesting to see the fact. I mean, no one in my department was really interested in my work. Like, they kind of just were like, most of the people, like most of the professors in the department, had no idea what lolcats were. So when I was trying to figure out my theoretical framework and asking for help, they were kind of like, yeah, so what are you doing? Oh, that seems quite interesting. Yeah, I don't really know how to help you with that one, but good luck. So it was bizarre to go from having no one really be interested in it to have this huge fervor about it. So.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Whitney?
Hi, hello. Let me make sure that I sound like a human. I do trolls. I do trolls and the trolls who troll them, specifically on 4chan and on Facebook. I've worked with memorial page trolls, a group of them. Some of you may have heard of that in the news. They're very naughty men. I had a standard line prepared, always had a standard line at my school, because I'm in an English department, like a literature, you know, those books that you hear so much about on TV. And I would tell people, because they didn't know, they would assume that when I said trolls, I meant, you know, like Norse mythology. So I wouldn't even think about it. It would be like this automatic, you know, transgressive humor within online subcultures. Like, I wouldn't even hear myself say it, but that was the standard line that I would give to sort of indicate, okay, I'm essentially one protracted dick joke, which is kind of a dick joke in itself. So it has been a very odd experience working in this space, because for one thing, I'm in this department that didn't, so to sort of piggyback on that, I guess, it wasn't just that they didn't understand the internet. Some of the internet doesn't understand the part of the internet that I work on specifically, because it can get so insane so very quickly. So that has been, that's posed a number of very strange challenges. I've had a lot of very weird, surreal moments. Are we gonna jump into the?
Yeah, do you want to show some
sure.
images?
Okay, so let me set this up.
We'll just jump through here. Sorry about that one.
Okay, I had been working in this space for a while, but I tried to keep my work as under wraps as I could, because I wanted it to be a finished project. It took me 1,000 years to figure out how in the hell do you approach something like this theoretically. So I struggled, and so because of that, just wanted to keep it under the wings, or whatever they say, until it was ready. Well, at a certain point, I did start granting interviews for RIP trolling. And this had been, again, after 2 years of not being in the press at all, not talking about it publicly at all, nothing, not at all. My online footprint, very small, and deliberately so. So this article in the Daily Mail, or as I call it, the Daily Troll, came out, and and you know, it was like one throwaway line. But so that night, or the day after, or very shortly, I can't remember exactly when, but closely following that article, suddenly some you know, they doxed me on the 4chan. And this was actually just information from my it was off my school. It was like the English find people thing. So this was all publicly available anyway. But so I thought, oh no, you know, I kind of knew this was coming. I had been preparing myself for it.
This happens to grad students all the time.
Yeah, right. But so maybe the next slide is the one that says, like, we're gonna send, I mean, so I'm reading this, so this is the slides. I'm reading this thing, they're like, oh, we're gonna get you. So yeah, do it for the lulz, find compromising pics of her and send it to her university and professors, pretending to be her. And so I had received some emails from like a Hushmail account that were basically threatening me with the same thing. So I'm like, this is not surprising to me, this is what these guys do, I totally get it. However, my professors are probably not gonna be so understanding if suddenly they get a bunch of cloned naked pictures of me in their inboxes. So I decide, I really was thinking very clearly at this point. I'm like, I'm going to take a PDF of this entire thread and I'm just going to send it to all of them, no context. Like, hey guys, guess what? They were saying mean things about me, but don't worry about it because it's just trolls. But enjoy all of these, and I don't know if I included it, but it's just like, you know, the banner ad at the top of this particular thread. And at this point in my research, I didn't even see that. It didn't occur to me. I didn't even know that that's not an okay thing to send to your department head. So I did. And I sent it to like, it was like 8 professors. All the people I had been working with recently, I was like, oh yeah, this happened, but don't worry about it, you guys, they're just threatening me. And they wouldn't know what to do with that information. I sort of did and was sort of, I was both uncomfortable with it, but also like, yeah, I've arrived. They're saying mean things about me on the 4chan, this is great. But they didn't get it, needless to say. So, and it just has been one weird moment after the next, because I've been doing this for 3 years, and the more sort of media attention it's gotten, the more, I don't know, the more awkwardness follows, I guess. So that's basically my story, and yeah, trolls.
Nice, thank you very much. Could we get like a warm round of snaps, just for like very academic snaps? I don't know if that's what you guys do in college. That's like a great.
Like we're in a sorority.
So one of the things, right, you guys talked about in your stories, if you guys heard, just picked up like little details, you come from 3 very different departments, and we talked beforehand, and it seems like those different departments reacted to your subject matter in pretty wildly different ways. So can you guys talk a little bit about what was that like? What were people's faces doing when you told them what you wanted to do in your department?
I guess I'll start first. So in my department, I kind of had an idea, came to me brilliantly one day, that I should do law speak, because it was a lot better than my previous thesis topic.
Well, how did that, what was it? Was it literally you just woke up?
No, well, kind of. I mean, I was like staying up late at night and I had one of those delirious aha moments. The topic that I wanted to do previously was to try to find a way to get the English spelling system to match the phonetic system closer. But that is really difficult. So I was in a psycholinguistics class and I was doing a PowerPoint about that, and I was writing a paper to go along with the PowerPoint. And then, at the end of the paper, I included some lolcats for my professor to look at, because in some ways, lolspeak is closer to the phoneme-grapheme correspondence, which is the letters actually make the correct phonemic sounds. Like, I can has ends in a Z. Z is actually the sound that you make whenever you say has. So I showed him that in my paper, and then that summer I was working on an idea of what to do with my thesis, and one night I stayed up really late and I just went, oh, I should just do it on lolspeak. It'd be fun, it'd be easy, it'd be great. I don't think anyone's done it before. It should be fantastic. So I needed a thesis advisor, and I went to Dr. Brody in the anthropology department, because I know that Dr. Brody is very accepting of thesis topics. And I started telling her that I wanted to do mine on lolspeak, and she got very excited and said, I've had some of my students do projects on lolspeak. Yes, you should do this. This is fantastic. And I think part of the reason why she had this reaction is because linguistics at LSU was interdepartmental. And I have to say was, because it no longer exists. They decided to get rid of that.
Is that because of you? Did you?
No, that actually,
okay.
That would be, I don't think that would be a better reason for why they got rid of it, but the reason that they got rid of it is not one that is understandable. They said that they got rid of it because we, as a small interdepartmental group of about 20 people, did not graduate as many people as the 80-person English graduate school program. So they got rid of it while I was there, but I was grandfathered in. And it was always kind of a fractured department anyway, because linguistics is a tool, and you just apply it to many different things. So we had people in English, and in neuroscience, and anthropology, and all over the place, basically. So any thesis topic that was valid research was acceptable. And looking at a non-standard way of English is definitely acceptable research in the field of language. So I was able to do my thesis on that, and I think it's also worth mentioning that there were other people who were doing non-traditional theses at the time. There was someone who, Tracy LeBlanc, who worked on, there's a forum called Pen is Mightier, and she did her thesis and dissertation on that. My office mate, Ty Thigpen, is doing, well, she just finished her thesis on how to read comics. So all of us are kind of getting into the more digital, well, Ty's the last one. She's the last of the master's students at LSU, but we, in our linguistic group, are sort of going in that direction. So for me, it was always very positive, even for my professors who were very straight-laced and went to MIT and Harvard. They were very open and very excited about my topic. I think the worst problem that I had was one of my professors is a dog lover. It was a little difficult, but you know, that was something I had to deal with.
If that's the worst you get, I think you're ahead of the game.